Pasadena, California. Running backs Sony Michel and Nick Chubb arrived together at the University of Georgia. They have roomed together, bowled together, gone tubing together and thrown darts together. Just over a year ago, they arrived together once more at a decision to fulfill their college eligibility rather than declare for the NFL draft. On Monday, the pair had the most dominant performance of their collegiate careers, colluding for 326 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, 1 receiving, as the number 3 Bulldogs hauled down number 2 Oklahoma to win the Rose Bowl, 54-48, after 2 overtimes in the first national semi-final. The outcome set Georgia, 13-1, up with a de facto home game in Atlanta. On January 8 for the title against number 4 Alabama, which defeated number 1 Clemson, 24-6, in the Sugar Bowl later Monday. Michel, whose mother immigrated from Haiti on an overcrowded boat before he was born, ran for 181 yards and scored 4 times the final touchdown, coming on a 27-yard run on the game's last play. Chubb scored twice and gained 145 yards on the ground. Chubb ranks second and Michel third on the list of Georgia's career rushing leaders, behind the Heisman Trophy winner Herschel Walker. Look, 27-1, they put this team on their shoulders, Georgia coach Kirby Smart said, referring to Michel and Chubb by their jersey numbers. Their collaborative performance upstaged Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield, this season's Heisman winner, who was intermittently outstanding following a week of intense scrutiny over his dealing with flu-like symptoms. Mayfield was limited in practice and skipped Rose Bowl-related social and media activities. But as the game approached, he tried to dispel any notion that his energy remained sapped, dashing down the field just before kickoff while shouting and waving his arms to incite the Oklahoma side in the sea of red that made up the Rose Bowl crowd. Perhaps he was simply loosening up his throwing arm and his play-calling voice, as well as the vocal cords of Sooners supporters, who had plenty to cheer for in the first half. Their roars peaked when Mayfield caught a pass, his first in college, at the tail end of a double reverse for a 2-yard touchdown that gave Oklahoma, 12-2, a 31-14 lead. Illness? What illness? Oklahoma, deploying a huddle-free, quick strike offense, scored on 5 of its 6 possessions in the half. Rodney Anderson made it into the end zone on runs of 9 and 41 yards. Mayfield connected on a 13-yard pass to Marquise Brown for the game's first touchdown. Even in victory, the 31 first-half points allowed by Georgia left a sour taste with Smart, a former defensive coordinator now in his second season as head coach. "I'm really disappointed and upset," Smart said. "Man, we stunk it up and played really bad." But after Mayfield's touchdown reception with 6 seconds left before halftime, a botched squib kick enabled Georgia to squeeze in a 55-yard field goal before the break that probably gave them a little juice, Oklahoma coach Lincoln Riley said, though he expressed no regret over the call. Georgia displayed a rapid response offense of its own, albeit of a different style, scoring on one-play drives with runs of 75 yards, Michel, and 50, Chubb. Michel's long run concluded a scoring frenzy at the start of the game that featured 5 touchdowns in the first 16 minutes. The Bulldogs made some effective defensive tweaks at halftime, which led to Mayfield's dusting himself off frequently after getting sacked. Smart noted some alignment changes but attributed most of the transformation to his tacklers simply being more aggressive. "It wasn't like it was magic sprinkled dust," he said. Georgia made hay of the Sooners' stalled offense and eventually pulled in front by 38-31 with Jake Fromm's 4-yard touchdown pass to Javon Wims, a short drive set up by Dominic Sanders' interception of Mayfield. Riley, asked if he had any regrets from the game, said, "How we played there coming out of halftime. We just didn't put our best foot forward." Oklahoma finally found the end zone again with 8:47 left in the fourth quarter, as Mayfield ran and threw his team back into a tie on an 11-yard toss to Dimitri Flowers. The Sooners took one more lead in regulation on a 46-yard fumble return by Stephen Parker with just under 7 minutes remaining, but Chubb scored on a direct snap from 2 yards out with 55 seconds left to force overtime. The teams swapped field goals on their first possessions of the extra period, then Lorenzo Carter of Georgia blocked Austin Siebert's attempt on Oklahoma's second drive. When they got the ball back, the Bulldogs called a direct snap for Michel, who dashed into the end zone to send him, Chubb and their teammates to one final bowl this season. For the Sooners, it was a wrenching end to a remarkable season. Mayfield avoided using his health as an excuse after the game. "I felt fine," he said, a raspy voice partly belying his statement. "Quite frankly, I just missed throws." Mayfield's 66% accuracy was only 4 points below his career rate at Oklahoma, yet he failed to connect with a few unmarked receivers. An apparent interception in overtime was negated by penalty. "I can't believe it's over," Mayfield said, choking back tears. "It's been a wild ride." Riley, the youngest head coach in FBS at age 33, said he had pondered during the first overtime whether to seek a first down at 4th and 1 from the Georgia 16. "It was close," he said. "I went back and forth on it. My gut said to kick it." He opted for the safer choice, and moments later he and his team had been defeated. As confetti rained down on the field, an announcement in the press box identified the game's most valuable offensive player as Chubb. Then came an update: the recipient had been switched to Michel. Either way, the award would be displayed in their joint residence, one more shared experience.